Man cannot remake himself without suffering, for he is both the marble and the sculptor. While we dream of greatness, we often overlook a fundamental principle. True transformation requires sacrifice. Like a sculptor chiseling away at marble, each strike is a moment of suffering, an act that chips away our flaws to reveal the masterpiece within. The Stoics believed that the process of self-remaking is not a picnic, but one that demands resilience, patience, and a willingness to endure pain. Thus, one of the Stoic rules is that, in order to remake yourself, the old must be broken, to make way for the new. As the dawn of a new year approaches, have you ever paused to ask yourself what invisible weights you're still carrying? The Stoics challenge us. Which burdens will you choose to leave behind, and which will you drag into tomorrow? Imagine stepping into the future unshackled, free to embrace all the possibilities that await you. This isn't merely about making resolutions, but about transformation, a conscious shedding of habits that no longer serve your journey. Are you ready to release the old and make space for the new? Join us as we delve into the habits to stop before the new year, guided by the timeless wisdom of the Stoics, and embark on a path toward a more enlightened self. Lesson 1. Breaking chains. Letting go of self-doubt. Have you ever felt the weight of invisible chains holding you back from your true potential? The Stoics ask us, how long will you let self-doubt dim the light within you? Do not allow another sunrise to pass without embracing the strength that lies dormant inside. You say the mountain is too high to climb, but is it not you who determines your own altitude? Treat each dawn as a new page, waiting for you to pen your story. We are not merely passing through time, we are weaving the tapestry of our lives. The quickest path to unlocking your potential is to cast off the cloak of doubt. The Stoics remind us, our only limitations are the ones we accept. What could you accomplish if you silence the whispers of uncertainty? Like an eagle hesitant to spread its wings, you forget that you were born to soar. Marcus Aurelius taught that our life is what our thoughts make it. So why let thoughts of inadequacy paint your world in shades of gray? Focus on the power residing within you, and watch as obstacles turn into stepping stones. The worries of tomorrow are not yours to bear today. Now is the moment to choose confidence over hesitation. To continue doubting yourself, what purpose does it serve? Life is too fleeting to spend it shackled by fear. Imagine the horizons that would open if you released the doubts that bind you. The Stoics encourage us to face challenges head-on, transforming trials into triumphs. This is your journey. The time has come to harness the courage that has always been yours. The one who believes in their path will always outpace the one who hesitates at every crossroads. As the new year approaches, envision the confidence you wish to carry forward. Your abilities are limited only by the boundaries you set for yourself. Abandon the habit of underestimating your worth. The world awaits your unique contribution. Today, choose to believe in yourself and watch new possibilities unfold. No matter the hurdles ahead, they cannot take away your power to believe. Without confronting self-doubt, how would we ever uncover the depths of our resilience? Modern Stoic philosophers remind us that embracing our fate includes trusting in our own capabilities. If you grapple with uncertainty, it signals that growth is on the horizon. Doubts may linger, but do not let them overshadow your determination. Kindness toward oneself is the foundation of unshakable confidence. United with self-belief, we can achieve the extraordinary. Time flows swiftly. Delay no longer in becoming who you are meant to be. Have you decided to break free from self-doubt before the new year dawns? The Stoics stand beside you, offering wisdom forged through the ages. Remember, in the end, you will achieve what you believe you can. Let this be the moment you step boldly into your true potential. Lesson 2. Extinguishing the flames. Letting go of temper. Have you ever felt the fire of anger consume you, only to realize it burns you more than anyone else? The Stoics ask us, how much longer will you allow your temper to control the narrative of your life? Imagine the peace that could fill your days if you chose to quench the sparks of irritation before they become wildfires. You might say, but they provoked me. Yet is it not within your power to choose your response? Treat each moment of frustration as a chance to practice patience, a gift to yourself as the new year approaches. We are not merely reacting to the world, we are shaping our inner landscape with every emotion we entertain. The swiftest path to serenity is to master our reactions, not the external events that trigger them. The Stoics remind us, "He who angers you, controls you." What would happen if you paused before letting anger take the reins? Like a storm cloud that chooses to pass quietly rather than unleash a tempest, you hold the power to decide the weather within. Seneca taught that anger is a brief madness, and when it takes over, we surrender our ability to think clearly. Why let a fleeting emotion steer the course of your day, or worse, your life? Focus on the space between stimulus and response, and there you will find freedom. The worries and irritations of today are but small stones on your path. You can choose to stumble over them or step smoothly onward. To keep feeding the flames of temper, what does it truly achieve? Life is too precious to spend it ensnared in the traps of our own making. Can you envision a life where provocations lose their power over you? The Stoics encourage us to see challenges as opportunities to cultivate inner peace. This is your journey. The time has come to reclaim control over your emotional landscape. Epictetus reminds us that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. As the new year draws near, consider the calm you wish to embrace moving forward. Your peace is determined by how well you can govern your impulses. Release the habit of giving others the keys to your serenity. Your inner harmony is yours alone to nurture. Today, decide to respond with grace and watch as your world transforms. No matter the provocations that arise, they cannot dictate your inner state unless you allow them to. Without facing and overcoming our tendencies toward anger, how would we ever develop patience and understanding? Modern Stoic thinkers echo the ancients, reminding us that in mastering our temper, we master ourselves. If you find yourself quick to anger, see it as a signal pointing toward areas for growth. Frustrations may surface, but they need not derail your composure. Kindness towards others begins with kindness towards oneself, fostering a cycle of goodwill. United in calmness, we can navigate even the stormiest seas of interaction. Time moves swiftly. Let us not waste it in turmoil, but invest it in tranquility. Have you made the choice to extinguish your temper before the new year begins? The Stoics stand beside you, offering wisdom tempered by the ages. Remember, in the end, peace is found not in controlling the world, but in controlling our reactions to it. Let this be the moment you step into the new year with a heart unburdened by anger. Lesson 3. Unshackling the mind, breaking free from overthinking before the new year. Have you ever found yourself trapped in a labyrinth of your own thoughts, circling the same worries over and over like a wheel that never stops turning? The Stoics pose a profound question. How much longer will you allow the endless chatter of your mind to steal the serenity of your present moment? Imagine the liberation that awaits if you choose to step off this mental treadmill. You might think, but I need to consider every angle. Yet is it not within your power to decide when enough is enough? Treat each spiraling thought as a passing cloud, observing it without becoming ensnared. We are not merely thinkers lost in abstraction. We are beings capable of directing our focus. The swiftest path to inner peace is to embrace simplicity over complexity. The Stoics remind us, the more we overthink, the less we truly understand. What would happen if you trusted yourself enough to let go of excessive deliberation? Like a bird hesitant to take flight because it questions the wind, you forget that you were born to soar effortlessly through the skies of life. Epictetus taught that we are disturbed not by things but by the views we take of them. So why let your mind become a storm when the sea is calm? Focus on what is directly before you, and watch as clarity emerges from the fog of confusion. The fears of tomorrow are not yours to solve today. Now is the moment to embrace action over rumination. To continue entangling yourself in endless thoughts, what purpose does it serve? Life is too fleeting to spend it lost in the maze of our own making. Consider the possibilities that unfold when you release the habit of overthinking. The Stoics encourage us to accept the flow of life, to ride its currents rather than resist them. This is your journey. The time has come to navigate it with trust and intuition. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that our life is what our thoughts make it. If we fill our minds with doubts and endless what-ifs, we build walls instead of bridges. As the new year approaches, envision the freedom you wish to carry forward. Your peace of mind is determined by how well you can quiet the unnecessary noise within. Abandon the habit of dissecting every possibility. Embrace the simplicity of the present moment. Today, choose to act with confidence and watch as overthinking dissolves into decisive living. No matter the uncertainties ahead, they cannot paralyze you unless you allow them to. Without confronting our tendency to overthink, how would we ever discover the courage of spontaneity? Modern Stoic philosophers echo this sentiment, urging us to trust in the unfolding of life. If you find yourself caught in mental loops, see it as a signal to return to the now. Doubts may arise, but they need not anchor you in inaction. Compassion towards oneself is the antidote to the paralysis of analysis. United in mindfulness, we can move forward with grace and purpose. Time flows like a river. Let us not spend it building dams of hesitation, but sailing toward our true destiny. Have you noticed how overthinking often stems from a desire to control the uncontrollable? The Stoics ask, can we command the tides of fate by sheer force of thought? We imagine that by scrutinizing every detail, we can predict and manipulate outcomes. Yet, is it not true that life unfolds regardless of our mental gymnastics? Epictetus teaches that some things are within our power, while others are not. Obsessing over the latter only drains us of energy and joy. Accepting this distinction frees us from the chains of overanalysis. Picture yourself standing at the shore, trying to hold back the waves with your hands. It's a futile endeavor, isn't it? Overthinking is much the same, a relentless attempt to grasp the ungraspable. By releasing this illusion of control, you open yourself to the natural flow of events. The Stoics encourage us to focus on our own actions, reactions, and attitudes, the true realms where we hold sway. As you prepare for the new year, consider shifting your attention to what you can influence and let go of the rest. In doing so, you reclaim the energy wasted on fruitless concerns. Have you ever been so consumed by options and possibilities that you end up making no decision at all? The Stoics challenge us. How does endless deliberation serve your growth? Seneca warned that while we delay, life speeds by. Overthinking can lead to inaction, trapping us in a state of perpetual hesitation. We become like a ship that never leaves the harbor, fearful of the open sea. But what if you trusted your capacity to navigate whatever comes your way? Overthinking is often rooted in fear. Fear of making the wrong choice, fear of failure, fear of the unknown. Yet, as Marcus Aurelius observed, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. By stepping forward despite uncertainty, we transform obstacles into opportunities. As the new year approaches, dare to make choices without exhaustive second-guessing. Embrace the possibility that, regardless of the outcome, you will learn and grow. Do you find yourself carrying the heavy burden of worries about the future? The Stoics invite us to consider, what does anxiety about tomorrow rob from today? Worrying is like paying a debt you don't owe. It saps the joy from the present moment and offers nothing in return. Epictetus reminds us that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Imagine walking through a beautiful garden but seeing only the shadows. Overthinking casts a veil over the beauty of life, fixating on potential negatives while ignoring the positives that surround us. To break this habit, practice gratitude for what is, rather than fear of what might be. The Stoics suggest we anchor ourselves in the present, the only moment where life truly unfolds. As the new year dawns, let go of worries that weigh you down. Lighten your load, and you'll find your journey more joyful and fulfilling. Are you caught in the web of needing everything to be perfect before you proceed? The Stoics question, does perfection exist, or is it an illusion that keeps us stagnant? Perfectionism is a close ally of overthinking, convincing us that more analysis will lead to flawlessness. Yet, In reality, it often leads to missed opportunities and regret. Perfection is the enemy of progress. By accepting that imperfection is a natural part of life, we free ourselves to take action. Seneca wisely noted that we become wiser by doing, not by thinking alone. Embrace the idea that mistakes are valuable teachers, not tragedies to be avoided at all costs. As you step into the new year, allow yourself the grace to be imperfect. In doing so, you open doors to experiences and growth that overthinking would have kept closed. Have you considered how overthinking undermines your confidence in your own judgment? The Stoics remind us that wisdom comes from within, yet overthinking turns us away from our inner compass. We begin to doubt our abilities, seeking external validation for decisions that are ours to make. Trusting yourself is a radical act in a world that encourages constant doubt. By reconnecting with your intuition, you silence the overactive mind that questions every move. Epictetus encourages us to keep our will in harmony with nature, which includes our innate wisdom. As the new year approaches, practice listening to that quiet voice within. Trust that you have the resources to handle whatever comes your way. Overthinking diminishes as self-trust grows. Have you noticed how overthinking can strain your relationships with others? The Stoics teach that we are all interconnected, and our inner turmoil often spills into our interactions. When we overanalyze every word and action, both ours and others, we create unnecessary tension and misunderstandings. Imagine trying to dance with someone while constantly questioning every step. The flow is disrupted, and joy is replaced with awkwardness. By letting go of overthinking in relationships, we allow genuine connections to flourish. We listen more openly, respond more authentically, and create space for mutual understanding. As you prepare for the new year, consider approaching your relationships with simplicity and openness. Trust in the goodwill of others and see how your connections deepen. Do you realize how much of life's simple pleasures are missed when we're lost in thought? The Stoics emphasize living fully in the present, for it is the only time we truly possess. Overthinking pulls us away from the here and now, robbing us of experiences that nourish the soul. Consider the taste of a meal eaten while your mind is elsewhere. The flavors are dulled, the enjoyment diminished. By anchoring ourselves in the present moment, we enrich our lives immeasurably. Mindfulness becomes an antidote to the habit of overthinking. As the new year arrives, commit to being fully present. Savor the small moments, and watch as life becomes more vibrant and fulfilling. How then can we break free from the chains of overthinking? The Stoics offer practical guidance. One approach is the practice of negative visualization, imagining the worst-case scenario to reduce fear of the unknown. This helps us realize that even the direst outcomes are manageable. Another strategy is setting clear intentions. Decide what you want to achieve and take the first step without overanalyzing every detail. Accept that uncertainty is a natural part of life. Embrace the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control, your actions and attitudes, and releasing what you cannot. Modern Stoic philosophers suggest incorporating mindfulness meditation into daily practice. This cultivates awareness of when the mind begins to spiral, allowing us to gently bring our focus back to the present. Journaling can also be a powerful tool, helping to externalize thoughts and reduce their hold on us. Have you considered that action is the enemy of overthinking? The Stoics encourage us to be proactive, to engage with life directly. By moving from thought to action, we break the cycle of endless deliberation. As the saying goes, you cannot plow a field by turning it over in your mind. Take small steps toward your goals, even if uncertainty remains. Trust that each action will bring clarity and momentum. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Let this wisdom guide you into the new year. Instead of pondering endlessly, begin doing. Ultimately, breaking the habit of overthinking leads us to a place of acceptance. Acceptance of ourselves, of others, and of life's inherent unpredictability. The Stoics teach that peace comes from aligning our will with the natural course of events. By accepting that we cannot know or control everything, we free ourselves from the burden of trying. This doesn't mean passivity. Rather, it means engaging with life as it is, not as we fear it might be. As you step into the new year, embrace acceptance as a path to liberation. In doing so, you open yourself to experiences and joys that overthinking would have kept at bay. Have you made the choice to unshackle your mind from overthinking before the new year dawns? The Stoics stand beside you, offering timeless wisdom to guide your journey. Remember, in the end, clarity comes not from endless thought, but from mindful action and acceptance. Let this be the moment you release the habit that no longer serves you. As you move forward, carry with you the lessons of the Stoics. Trust in yourself, believe in your innate wisdom and ability to navigate life's complexities. Embrace the present. Live fully in the moment, where life truly happens. Accept uncertainty. Recognize that not everything can be known or controlled, and that's okay. Take decisive action. Move from thought to action, allowing experiences to teach and guide you. Cultivate inner peace. Let go of mental burdens that weigh you down, fostering a tranquil mind. By releasing the habit of overthinking, you make room for a life rich in experiences, connections, and joy. The new year awaits, a blank canvas ready for the vibrant strokes of your authentic self. Step into it with confidence and ease, knowing that you have all you need within you. The Stoics believe that we are the architects of our inner world. No matter the chaos that may swirl around us, we have the power to create a sanctuary of peace and purpose within. Overthinking is a storm we conjure ourselves, but we also hold the key to calm it. As Epictetus wisely said, "You become what you give your attention to." Give your attention to what uplifts and empowers you. So, have you ever imagined what life could be like if you freed yourself from the confines of your own mind? The invitation stands before you. Release overthinking, embrace the journey, and watch as the path unfolds with newfound clarity and joy. The Stoics have shown the way. Now it is up to you to walk the path. Let this new year be a testament to your commitment to live fully and freely. The chains of overthinking have held you long enough. Break them, and step boldly into the life that awaits, a life of action, presence, and profound peace. Lesson 4. Embracing the light. Letting go of pessimism before the new year. Have you ever found yourself overshadowed by a cloud of negativity, wondering why the sun seems to shine brighter for everyone else but you? The Stoics pose a vital question. How much longer will you let pessimism dim the brilliance of your own life? Imagine the possibilities that could unfold if you chose to step out from under that shadow. You might think, but the world is full of hardships. Yet is it not within your power to perceive challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles? Treat each setback as a stepping stone, a chance to rise stronger and wiser. We are not mere spectators of our fate. We are co-authors of our own stories. The quickest path to a fulfilling life is to embrace optimism over despair. The Stoics remind us, while we cannot control external events, we can control how we perceive and respond to them. What if you decided to view the world through a lens of hope rather than doubt? Like a flower that turns toward the sun despite the shadows around it, you have the ability to seek out the light in every situation. Marcus Aurelius taught that the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. So why allow negative thinking to tarnish the canvas of your existence? Focus on cultivating a mindset that sees the silver lining, and watch as your reality transforms accordingly. The fears and disappointments of yesterday need not dictate the promise of tomorrow. To continue dwelling in pessimism, what does it truly achieve? Life is too precious to spend it confined within the walls of our own negativity. Can you envision a life where hope guides your journey, where each new day is met with enthusiasm rather than dread? The Stoics encourage us to accept what we cannot change and to find joy in the pursuit of virtue and wisdom. This is your path. The time has come to illuminate it with optimism and courage. Epictetus reminds us that we are not disturbed by things, but by the view we take of them. As the new year approaches, consider the perspective you wish to adopt moving forward. Your outlook is shaped by the thoughts you nurture. Release the habit of expecting the worst. Instead, anticipate the best while preparing yourself to navigate any outcome. Today, choose to embrace positivity and watch as new doors open before you. No matter the challenges that lie ahead, they cannot extinguish the light within you unless you allow them to. Without confronting our tendencies toward pessimism, how would we ever experience the full spectrum of life's beauty? Modern Stoic philosophers echo this wisdom, urging us to recognize that our mindset profoundly impacts our experience of the world. If you find yourself defaulting to negative expectations, see it as a call to realign your thoughts. Doubts may surface, but they need not anchor you in despair. Compassion toward oneself fosters a resilient and hopeful spirit. United in optimism, we can face any storm with grace and determination. Time moves ever forward. Let us not waste it shrouded in gloom, but embrace it with a heart full of hope. Have you made the choice to release pessimism before the new year dawns? The Stoics stand beside you, offering timeless wisdom to guide your transformation. Remember, in the end, we find what we seek. So seek the good, and let your life be a testament to the power of a positive mind. Have you noticed how expecting the worst often becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy? The Stoics ask, does anticipating failure protect you, or does it merely chain you to a reality of your own making? We sometimes believe that by bracing for disappointment, we shield ourselves from hurt. Yet, is it not true that this mindset robs us of joy and diminishes our capacity to appreciate the present moment? Seneca teaches that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. By constantly dwelling on negative outcomes, we burden ourselves unnecessarily. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with stones labeled "what if," and it won't work. Each step becomes more arduous, not because of the path itself, but because of the weight you choose to bear. By releasing these self-imposed burdens, you free yourself to walk with ease and confidence. The Stoics encourage us to prepare for life's uncertainties but not to be overwhelmed by them. As you approach the new year, consider lightening your load by letting go of pessimistic expectations. In doing so, you create space for hope and possibility to flourish. Have you ever wondered how two people can experience the same event yet interpret it so differently? The Stoics remind us that our perception shapes our reality. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If we constantly immerse ourselves in negativity, we tint our world in shades of gray. Why not choose brighter hues that reflect joy, gratitude, and optimism? Consider a glass of water filled to the halfway mark. Do you see it as half empty or half full? This classic question illustrates how our mindset influences our interpretation of circumstances. By choosing to focus on what we have, rather than what we lack, we cultivate a sense of abundance. As the new year approaches, challenge yourself to reframe situations in a positive light. This doesn't mean ignoring difficulties, but rather acknowledging them without letting them overshadow the good. By adjusting your perception, you transform not only your experience, but also your interactions with others. Have you thought about how your pessimism affects those around you? The Stoics teach that we are all interconnected, and our attitudes can influence the collective well-being. When we project negativity, we contribute to a cycle that dampens the spirits of others. Conversely, a positive outlook can inspire and uplift. Imagine tossing a pebble into a pond. The ripples extend far beyond the point of impact. Your thoughts and words have a similar effect on the world around you. By choosing optimism, you send out waves of encouragement and hope. Epictetus advises us to be mindful of the company we keep, but equally important is the energy we bring into our relationships. As you step into the new year, consider the legacy of your attitude. Do you wish to be a source of light or a shadow that darkens the day? By letting go of pessimism, you not only enhance your own life but also contribute positively to the lives of others. Are you holding on to pessimism as a shield against disappointment? The Stoics challenge us to question whether this defense truly serves us. Anticipating failure may seem like a way to soften the blow, but in reality, it prevents us from fully engaging with life's opportunities. By expecting the worst, we may inadvertently sabotage our chances of success. Consider a gardener who refuses to plant seeds because they fear the plants won't grow. In avoiding potential disappointment, they guarantee that nothing will flourish. Seneca encourages us to participate actively in life, embracing both its joys and uncertainties. As the new year approaches, dare to hope and to act on that hope. Allow yourself to envision positive outcomes and to pursue them with vigor. While not every endeavor will succeed, the journey itself enriches us. By releasing the fear of disappointment, you open yourself to experiences that pessimism would have kept beyond reach. Have you recognized that pessimism is often a habit formed over time? The Stoics understood that our thoughts become patterns, and patterns become ingrained behaviors. Like a path worn into the ground by repeated footsteps, negative thinking can become our default route. But paths can be changed, and new ones forged. Modern Stoic philosophers suggest that by consciously choosing our thoughts, we can reshape our mental landscape. This requires mindfulness and practice. When a pessimistic thought arises, acknowledge it without judgment and gently redirect your focus. Marcus Aurelius advised, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." As the new year dawns, commit to cultivating positive thought patterns. Over time, this practice will transform pessimism into optimism, reshaping your experience of life. Have you considered how gratitude can counteract pessimism? The Stoics emphasize the importance of appreciating what we have, rather than fixating on what we lack. By expressing gratitude, we shift our focus from negativity to abundance. Imagine waking up each day and taking a moment to acknowledge 3 things you're grateful for. This simple practice can rewire your brain to notice and appreciate the positives in your life. Epictetus reminds us that wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Gratitude reduces the desire for more and fosters contentment. As you enter the new year, embrace gratitude as a daily habit. This will not only diminish pessimism, but also enhance your overall well-being. Do you find yourself dwelling on negative situations as if they will last forever? The Stoics teach that all things are transient, both good and bad. By accepting the impermanence of circumstances, we can maintain perspective during challenging times. Consider the ebb and flow of the ocean's tides. High tide may bring waves that crash forcefully, but inevitably the waters recede. Similarly, difficulties arise and pass away. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." By embracing change, we free ourselves from the grip of pessimism. As the new year unfolds, remind yourself that this too shall pass. Holding on to this truth allows you to navigate life's ups and downs with equanimity. Have you placed the burden of your happiness on external factors? The Stoics assert that true contentment comes from within, not from circumstances beyond our control. By taking ownership of your attitude, you empower yourself to shape your experience. Imagine being the captain of your own ship, steering toward horizons of your choosing. While you cannot control the winds, you can adjust your sails. Seneca stated, "A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not." As you approach the new year, accept responsibility for your mindset. Choose to cultivate joy and optimism, regardless of external events. This internal shift will ripple outward, enhancing every aspect of your life. Have you noticed how the attitudes of those around you affect your own? The Stoics advise us to be mindful of the company we keep, as negativity can be contagious. Surrounding yourself with pessimistic individuals reinforces your own negative habits. Consider the difference between walking in a garden versus a swamp. One uplifts your spirit, while the other drags you down. By seeking out positive influences, you create an environment conducive to optimism. Modern Stoic thinkers emphasize the importance of community and personal growth. As the new year begins, evaluate your relationships. Foster connections that inspire and support your journey toward a more optimistic outlook. How can you actively shift from pessimism to optimism? The Stoics provide practical tools to aid in this transformation. One effective method is the practice of premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. By calmly contemplating possible challenges, you prepare yourself to face them without fear. However, it's crucial to balance this with envisioning positive outcomes. Visualize your goals coming to fruition and the steps you'll take to achieve them. Epictetus encourages us to focus on what is within our control, our actions and attitudes. Additionally, mindfulness meditation can help you become aware of negative thought patterns, allowing you to interrupt and redirect them. Journaling is another valuable practice, enabling you to process emotions and reflect on your progress. As the new year approaches, integrate these strategies into your daily routine. Consistency is key. Over time, these habits will reinforce an optimistic mindset. Have you decided to cast aside pessimism before the new year dawns? The Stoics stand ready to guide you toward a brighter horizon. Remember, in the end, the quality of your life is profoundly influenced by the attitude you choose to adopt. Let this be the moment you embrace optimism and open yourself to the myriad possibilities that await. As you move forward, carry with you the timeless wisdom of the Stoics. Choose your perspective. Recognize that while you cannot control all events, you can control how you perceive them. Cultivate gratitude. Regularly acknowledge the good in your life to foster a sense of abundance. Embrace impermanence. Understand that all situations are temporary, allowing you to navigate challenges with resilience. Take ownership. Accept responsibility for your happiness by shaping your mindset. Surround yourself wisely. Seek out positive influences that support your journey toward optimism. By releasing the habit of pessimism, you unlock the door to a life enriched by hope, joy, and fulfillment. The new year stands before you, a canvas awaiting the vibrant colors of your renewed spirit. Step into it with confidence and enthusiasm, knowing that you possess the power to shape your reality. The Stoics believed that the seeds of happiness lie within us. No external circumstance can dictate our inner state unless we permit it. Pessimism is a veil that obscures the beauty of life, but it is a veil we can choose to lift. As Epictetus wisely said, the more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Value your mindset, for it is the foundation upon which your experiences are built. So, have you imagined what your life could be like if you embraced optimism? The opportunity is yours to seize. Release pessimism, embrace the journey ahead, and watch as your world transforms in ways you never thought possible. The Stoics have illuminated the path. Now it is your turn to walk it with courage and hope. Let this new year be a testament to your commitment to live fully and joyfully. The shadows of pessimism have lingered long enough. Dispel them and step boldly into the radiant life that awaits, a life of positivity, purpose, and profound satisfaction.